Peace to you. Even if I were silent, the wind would carry to you the words of my love and of the hatred of other people. I know that you are excited because you are aware of the reason why I am here amongst you. But let it be only an excitement of joy, and bless with me the Lord who makes use of evil to give joy to his children, by leading, under the spur of wickedness, his lamb amongst the lambs, to save him from the wolves. See how good the Lord is. As water flows into the sea, so a river and a stream flowed into the place where I was. A river of loving kindness, a stream of burning bitterness. The former was the love of you all, from Lazarus and Martha to the last inhabitant in the village. The latter was the unfair hatred of those who, not being able to reach the good which calls them, accuse the good of being evil. And the river said, Come, come back to us. May our waves surround, isolate, and defend you. May they give you what the world denies you. The wicked stream hissed threats and wanted to kill with its poison. But what is a stream when it is compared with the river, and what when compared with the sea? Nothing. And the poison of the stream was reduced to nothing, because the river of your love overwhelmed it, and only the kindness of your love flowed into the sea of my love. Nay, it did a good turn, it brought me back to you. Let us bless the Most High Lord for it. Jesus' powerful voice rings out through the calm silent air. Jesus, bright in the sunshine, waves and smiles from the terrace. On the ground, the people listen to him blissfully, a flourish of faces raised towards him and smiling at the harmony of his voice. Lazarus is near Jesus, with Simon and John. The others are scattered amongst the crowd. Also Martha goes upstairs and sits down on the floor at Jesus' feet, looking towards her house, visible beyond the orchard. The world belongs to bad people. Paradise to good people. That is the truth. And the promise. May your certain strength rest upon such promise. The world passes, paradise does not. If by being good you gain it, you will enjoy it forever. So why get upset at what bad people do? Do you remember Job's lamentations? They are the eternal lamentations of those who are good and oppressed, because the flesh moans, but it should not moan, and the more it is trampled on, the more it should raise the wings of its soul in the jubilation of the Lord. Do you think that those are happy who appear to be happy, because by legal means and even more by illegal ones they have opulent granaries, vats full to thebrim and jars overflowing with oil? No. They taste the blood and tears of other people in all their meals, and their beds seem to be bristling with thorns, so much they feel remorse. They rob the poor and despoil orphans, they rob their neighbors to hoard goods, they oppress whoever is inferior to them in power and in wickedness. It does not matter. Never mind. Their kingdom is of this world. But what will be left at their death? Nothing. Unless you wish to call a treasure the pile of sins that they will take with themselves and with which they present themselves to God. Never mind. They are the children of darkness, rebels to the light, and they are unable to follow the bright paths of the light. When God makes the morning star shine, they call it the shadow of death, and as such they think it is contaminated, and they prefer to walk in the glitter of their filthy gold. And hatred, which blazes only because the things of hell shine with the phosphorus of the lakes of eternal perdition. My sister, Jesus. Oh. Lazarus sees Mary stealing behind a hedge of his orchard to come as close as possible. She stoops as she walks, but her fair hair shines like gold against the dark box. Martha is about to get up. But Jesus presses his hand on her head and she is compelled to stay where she is. Jesus speaks louder. What shall we say of those unhappy people? God gave them time to do penance, but they misuse it in order to sin. But God does not lose sight of them, even if he seems to. And the moment comes when, either because the love of God pierces their hard hearts, as a thunderbolt penetrates a rock, or because the total mass of crimes carries the wave of their filth right into their throats and nostrils, and they are disgusted, at last they are disgusted with that taste and that stench which are nauseating also to other people and fill their own hearts. The moment comes when they loathe it, and a feeling desiring good roots in their hearts. Each soul then cries, who will allow me to go back to former times, when I was a friend of God, when his light shone in my heart and I walked in its rays, when the amazed world was silent before my justice, and who saw me said I was blessed. The world craved for my smiles, and my words were received like the words of an angel, and the hearts of my relatives leapt with pride in their chests. And what am I now? I am an object of derision to young people, of horror to elderly people. I am the subject of their songs, and they spit scornfully in my face. Truly, that is how in certain moments the souls of sinners speak, the souls of the true jobs, because there is no greater misery for man than to lose God's friendship and his kingdom forever. And they must arouse pity. Only pity. They are poor souls, who out of idleness or rashness, have lost the eternal spouse. On my bed, at night, I sought him whom my heart loves. I sought but did not find him. In fact, in the darkness one cannot distinguish the spouse, and the soul, spurred by love, being thoughtless because enveloped by a spiritual night, seeks, and wants to find relief from its torture. And the soul thinks it can be found with any love. No. Only one is the love of the soul, God. Those souls, spurred on by the love of God, wander seeking love. It would be sufficient for them to wish to have light, and they would have love as their consort. They wander like sick people, groping for love, and they find all the loves, all the foul things that man has so called, but they do not find the love, because the love is not gold, pleasure, power, but God. Poor souls! Had they been less lazy, and had they risen at the first invitation of the eternal spouse, of God who says, follow me, of God who says, open to me, they would not have opened the door, in the outburst of their awakened love, when the disappointed bridegroom was already far and had disappeared. And they would not have desecrated the holy impulse of the need of love in a mire which disgusts even unclean animals, as it is so useless and strewn with trite troubles, which were not flowers but thorns, which torture but do not crown. Neither would they have known the sneering words of the patrol guards, of the whole world, which, like God, but for opposite reasons, does not lose sight of the sinner, but waylays him to mock at him and criticize him. Poor souls beaten, despoiled, and wounded by the whole world. Only God does not join in such pitiless scornful stone throwing. But he lets his tears drop to cure the wounds and put an adamantine dress on his creature. Always his creature. Only God, and the children of God with the Father. Let us bless the Lord. He wanted me to come back here for the sake of sinners, to say to you, forgive. Always forgive. Make every bad thing become a good one, and every offense a grace. I do not only say to you, make I say, imitate my attitude. I love and bless my enemies because through them I have been able to come back. To you, my friends. Peace be with you all.